Genius is a flower of great rarity that grows in the most unlikely places. Recognition of genius is an accolade that usually becomes a posthumous award. Certainly, this is true of the man called simply O.Henry, master of the tale with a twist, and one of the greatest storytellers of all time. The O.Henry Playhouse, dramatizing some of the most diverting stories ever told.
Most of us have our moments of hankering for the peace of the wide open spaces. Peace, simplicity, communion with nature, away from it all. Like the West Texas cattle country, for instance. Some mighty ranch like Rancho Napolito, broad as a European kingdom, where old man McAllister rules as king and the spaces are wide as they come, and the stars look close enough to touch. This is native environment for the Rancho Napolito foreman, big tow-headed Webb Yeager. But Webb has his troubles just like the rest of us. Call it love trouble, boss trouble, or both.
Hey, Baldy, something's come up. I'm putting you in charge of the drove.
Me?
Yeah, I gotta get back to the ranch.
Well, that's all of 60 miles, Webb.
Then I better get started.
Look, Webb, the boss wasn't fooling about filling you full of lead if you go near the ranch house.
Just keep pushing the beef through, Baldy. You're in charge. Hiya!
Hey, what's with Webb? What could come up way out here, Baldy?
Now, listen, young'un. You go take a look around, see? So, look for a sort of sign, like a cross inside a heart. Us old Napolito hands call it the gizzard and crossbones.
Well, look, Baldy.
Any place, on the backs of the herd, on the packs, could be any place.
Crossing the heart, eh?
Yeah, that's it.
Hey, I got it. Could be a kind of a secret sign Miss Stella wants to see Webb urgent.
How come you figure that out?
Well, I don't know, just figuring, I guess.
Well, stop figuring.
Look, I'm new here, Baldy, but everyone knows Mr. McAllister and Webb Yeager was thick as thieves until the boss finds out Webb's trying to get his rope over Miss Stella's head.
So?
Well, then, Mr. McAllister tells Webb to stay away from the ranch house or he'll shoot him full of holes in the colander. And Miss Stella's got to swear she won't write to Webb or call him up or... Miss Stella's smart as she's pretty, Baldy. Maybe when she's just plain got to see Webb, she sends this sign. This, cross and a heart.
Strikes me you're a pretty smart figurer for a young'un.
I won't say nothing, Baldy.
Now, see you remember that. Because if you open your trap, I'll make you look like a colander.
Oh, you bet, Baldy, you bet. Well, I'll go look for them hearts and crosses.
I'm not fooling, kid. No more than King McAllister was fooling.
You aiming to get yourself killed, Yeager?
Nope. I'm just here to see Stella, King.
I've got to hand it to you, Yeager. I had a bead drawn on you all the way to the corral.
So where's Stella?
I guess I got a surprise for you. I was just starting a Mexican to fetch you back. To see you.
You mean something's wrong?
Come on in.
Where is she?
In a room. She's pretty sick, Webb.
Now, what's wrong with her?
Doctor threw around a whole lot of words I never heard of. Point is, she isn't fighting it. She's been asking for you.
In here? Stella. It's me, Webb.
She's full of drugs. Doctor just left.
Honey, can you hear me? Honey.
That girl's all I've got. She isn't fighting.
Stella, it's Webb. Webb?
Say, she's coming around. Keep talking.
Stella, please, you gotta talk to me, honey.
Webb? Oh. You saw it? The brand? You make it tough, honey. I nearly missed it. On the bags of potatoes and onions.
Oh. Oh, they go together.
In a stew.
No. No, I meant hearts and crosses. Love and trouble.
Let her sleep. She'll be okay now. Come outside, Jaeger.
No, it'll be better if I stay with her.
I said come outside.
Okay. You're the boss. Okay, King. This way you start shooting.
Pumping lead into the best ramrod in West Texas don't seem good business to me right now.
King, I'm going to marry Stella.
Yeah? Tell you something, boy. I pulled myself up by the bootstraps. I worked like a bullock to make Rancho Napolito what it is.
It isn't your ranch I want.
That girl, she's a McAllister, slim and pretty like her mother was, but McAllister. I wanted another king for her. But it seems like she settled for Webb Yeager. Well, okay. She's McAllister. Maybe I should have trusted her judgment.
You mean that?
I got news for you, Webb. I got maybe a year to go.
How do you mean?
Heart trouble. This old pump of mine is on the way out. Now, this is between ourselves, you understand?
Sure. Well, I didn't know, King. I'm sorry.
I'll make a deal with you, Webb. You get that girl well, get her back on those pretty feet of hers, and your troubles are over.
You can bet on it.
Your troubles are over. That's what old man McAllister said. And a king's word is his bond. So, in the fullness of time, big tow-headed Webb Yeager married Miss Stella and moved into the big ranch house. And old man McAllister slipped quietly out of life one summer night when the stars were low enough to touch. And then, a little more time passed.
Like I said, Webb, the trouble with you is you...
It's your deal, Baldy.
Eh? Oh, yeah, sure, yeah.
I guess we'll make this the last hand. Time I was getting back to the ranch house.
Like I said, Webb, if I was you, I'd be a king.
Yeah, so you said, Baldy.
You know something? When a man marries a queen, he ought to grade up with her, see? On the hoof. Dressed, dried, corn.
Deal the cards.
Uh-huh. You know what you are, Webb? You are a prince consort.
Now, take
Yeah,
it easy,
well, them is the
friend.
title, see? Up among the picture cards, but it don't take no tricks. Well, say you and me marries in a royal family, see? Well, by and by, our wife gets to be a queen. And we're king? Not in a million years. Now, them coronation ceremonies, we march between Little Casino and the 9th Grand Custodian and the Royal Hall bedchamber. You, Webb, are a prince consort. If I was you, I'd call for a new deal.
Guess we'll skip this last hand.
Hey, don't
It's
get me
pretty
wrong.
late.
Don't get me wrong, Webb. I ain't reflecting none on Miss Stella. Miss Stella, she's the finest little lady I ever did see.
And don't you forget that.
And she sure is smart at running the business, just like old man McAllister did. Only you see...
Only I'm boss of the cattle, same as I always was.
Yeah, sure, Webb, sure. Only you
Only I don't have the authority to sell a beef steer to a starving cowpoke. I know. Night, Baldy.
Good night.
More coffee. Oh, it's going to work, isn't it, Webb?
No thanks. No more coffee.
Seems like every breeder for 1,000 miles round has laughed at us for years. Well, we'll have the last laugh yet.
This year's calves will show it one way or the other.
And next year, all the ranchers will lie down on their knees begging for our Sussex breed. Anything wrong, darling?
Oh, no, nothing wrong, honey.
You were awfully restless last night.
I'm sorry.
Webb.
I reckon I better get moving. A lot of beeves near the Hondo waterhole ought to be moved away from the timber.
Webb, are you sure? Yes? What is it, Tom?
Got them beeves ready to go to town. Where'd you want them to go? To Barber's, like always?
Of course.
All right, ma'am.
Tom, I want you to drive that bunch to Nesbitt's.
What?
I already had a word with Nesbitt about them.
But Barbara's handled every head of stock from the Nopalito in the market for 5 years or more.
Sorry. But I want that herd to go to Nesbitt.
Tom, get started. Tell Barbara we'll have another lot of cows ready in about a month.
Well, are you sure, ma'am?
Am I what?
Well,
You heard the boss, Tom. Get going.
yes, sir.
I don't understand you, Webb. This is just plain foolish.
Court fool, Your Majesty. What else can you expect?
Expect?
I like to think I was a man before I married a cattle queen. Not what I am now, the laughing stock of the camp.
Webb, do I ever interfere in your management of the cattle? It just happens I know the business side better than you do. I learned it from Dad. What's wrong with that?
You're a McAllister, all right.
Oh, please, darling, be reasonable.
Oh, sure. We'll split it down the center. I punch the cattle and you wear the crown. It's your ranch, and Barbara gets the cattle.
Webb! Well, Webb, where are you going?
I'm leaving.
Leaving?
I'd rather be a plain ramrod boss of a cow camp than an 8 spot and a queen high flush. So long, Stella.
Webb Yeager rode to the southeast as straight as the rugged hills of West Texas permitted. And when he reached the horizon, he might have ridden on into blue space as far as knowledge of him on the Napolito went. The prince consort had dropped out, an event which only rarely disorganizes a monarchy. The Queen Scylla appointed a major domo from among her father's faithful vassals and went on with the work of government. And what she thought and what she felt, only she knew.
Well, him's the last of the Sussex breed for the Double X outfit, Miss Stella.
Okay, Steve. They can be penned in the corral near the ranch house tonight, ready for delivery in the morning.
Uh-huh. Real blue bloods, ain't they?
Everything we could have hoped for and more. See you, Steve.
Yes, ma'am.
Morning, Miss Teller.
Morning, Baldy.
You feeling okay again, Miss Teller?
Feeling just fine now, thanks, Baldy.
Yeah.
Something on your mind, Baldy?
Well, ma'am,
Well, come on, out with it, Baldy. You ought to know I'm always ready to listen to anything the men have got to say, so long as it makes sense.
yeah, ma'am. Well, the fact is, out in the Frio yesterday, we met up with a stockman riding through from lower Rio Grande country.
Yes?
Yes, got to talking we did. And well, the fact is he's been punching cattle on the Rancho Seco in Hidalgo County.
So?
So, yeah. Said they got a new manager down there named Yeager. Tall, light-haired man, not giving much to saying much, and sounds like someone we might know, eh? Eh, ma'am?
Indeed it does. And I'd say Rancho Seco can count itself lucky. Webb's one of the best stockmen in the West. Morning, Baldy.
Morning, Miss Stella. Yeah.
Hey, Baldy. You tell her about Webb?
Yeah, I told her.
What'd she say?
Never batted an eyelid, not an eyelid.
Oh,
But she was crazy for him, you know, all them years. She was plumb crazy about him.
yeah. And Webb was crazy for her, too, Baldy.
Shut my big, ugly mouth. Only wish I'd kept it shut that night.
Ah, well. Maybe Webb was feeling things anyway.
Yeah, she sure was feeling something.
Guess women got their pride, too, huh, Baldy? Leastways thoroughbreds like Miss Stella.
Yeah. Well, maybe now, seeing how things are and seeing how she knows where he is, maybe they might get to meet up again, huh?
She'd only have to tell him.
You guys, give us a hand with these peeves, will ya?
Okay, let's get going, Baldy.
Yeah. Rancho Napolito.
Got a wire for Mrs. Yeager.
Mrs. Yeager speaking. Go ahead, exchange.
Okay. Here's a message. I am instructed...
Hold on a minute. That sounds like an order. I'll take it down. Yes, go ahead, please.
I am instructed by the owners of the Rancho Seco...
Is that S-E-C-O?
Uh-huh. S-E-C-O, Mrs. Yeager. Quote, to purchase 100 head of Sussex breed 2- or 3-year-olds bred by you. Stop. Please notify urgently if you can fill order. Stop. Respectfully, Webster Yeager, manager, Rancho Seco. Got that, Mrs. Yeager?
Yes. Yes, thank you. I've got it.
Any reply, Mrs. Yeager?
Reply? Yes. To Webster Yeager, manager, Rancho Seco. 100 head, Sussex 2- and 3-year-olds as order. Ready for delivery immediately. Signed, Stella Yeager, Rancho Napolito.
Is that all, Mrs. Yeager?
That's all.
I guess that's a lot, Miss Stella. 100 head to make it.
Okay, stick 'em in the corral till morning.
Yeah, ma'am.
I'll be sending the Rancho Seco drovers down to the men's quarters for the night. They've already arrived. 3, Mexican vaqueros.
Oh, yeah, I see. Yeah, ma'am.
They're, aiming to get the herd moving round about dawn.
Okay, ma'am.
That white beef. What a beauty, Baldy.
Yeah, never a mark on him. Except the Napolito brand.
Pure white. A real beauty. Keep an eye on them, Baldy. I've already received Rancho Seco's check and payment.
Well, looks like that's that then, Miss Stella.
Yes. Very businesslike, Rancho Seco.
Round about dawn it'll be, Miss Stella.
Baldy. Hey, Baldy, wake up.
I'll get lost, will you?
Baldy, it's me, Steve.
Well, you. Didn't I tell you to sleep by the corral?
Shh. Don't wake the others.
Miss Stella's orders. You was to watch that Rancho Seco herd.
Miss Stella will send me away, Baldy. Look, can you come outside a minute?
What, now? In the middle of the night?
I can't talk here. I got to tell you something.
All right, then. But make it fast and make it good. Okay, young'un, let's have it. What's the matter?
Well, it's like this, see? I was asleep a couple of hours back, when out comes Miss Stella and shakes me awake and tells me to get on back here for the rest of the night.
Couple of hours back?
That's right, Baldy. She's got on them dark jeans things and a dark kind of shirt.
You come turning me out of the sack to give me a description of Miss Stella's duds?
I didn't. Of course not.
Well, get to the point, will you? I'm freezing to death out here.
Well, she looked kind of white, Baldy, and I thought, something's doing. Well, she makes sure I'm going, then she heads back for the house. And I go, Baldy, only as soon as I get out of hearing distance of the house, I head back. She's in the blacksmith's shop, Baldy. She's got the forge going hot and strong. Never seen what she was up to, only it sure took a heck of a long time.
Yeah? I wonder what she's doing in there.
Don't know. But after a bit, she comes out. And next thing, she's back at the corral. I'm scared to come too close, see, but she takes something off her shoulder, a lasso. And she goes right in among them 100 head. I think she'll start 'em stampede and she'll get herself killed.
Oh, holy cow.
So I creep a bit closer in case there's trouble. And then I see it's that white steer she's after. She swings a throw, only it catches one horn and slips off. So she throws again and gets it by the forefeet. She's making another cast with them cattle all milling around like crazy when something seems to warn her, and she looks right up, right at me. Yeah. I tell you, I was sure she could see me, even where I was in all that shadow. So I backed slow and careful, and I kept on backing. Then I head off, and here I am. Well, that's all. I just had to tell you, Baldy.
The forge, huh? Now, what in heck would she be doing at the forge?
Come on in, Webb. Problems?
Yeah, kind of a problem, Mr. Quinn.
Yeah. Problems become a bit of a rarity around here since you've been managing the ranch for me. Whiskey?
No, thanks. Mr. Quinn, I'm sorry about this, but something's come up.
Okay. Go right ahead, Webb. What's the problem?
I'm leaving.
You're what?
I'm sorry, Mr. Quinn, but Wilson's ready to take over. The work won't miss a beat.
Oh, now, wait a minute, Webb. You can't...
Yeah, Wilson's a good man. He knows the ropes as well as I do.
Yeah, I know all that, but well, what is this? If you got any complaints, I'll make things right. Just say the word.
No complaints, Mr. Quinn. Just personal. I've got to go.
That's them, Mr. Quinn. Sussex breed from Rancho Napolito. Yes, Wilson. I've been meaning for days to come out and take a look at them. Kinda threw me, though. Webb Yeager taking off like that right after they got here.
Well, yeah, sure was sudden, Mr. Quinn.
Footloose. Drifters. Those guys, they're all the same. Hey. What's that Napolito Ranch brand, Wilson?
X-Bar Y.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So what's with that white steer there? It's wearing another brand. A heart with a cross inside it.
Oh, yeah, so it is. Never heard of no brand with a heart and cross in it.
Darling. Oh, what a pair of idiots we are.
Guess I ought to be hog-tied, Stella. Yes, sir, hog-tied.
Did you see it?
The white steer with your special brand? Sure, I saw it. But how...
I worked on that branding iron for hours, Webb.
The boys were right, honey. You're a queen.
There's no queen here. Not any longer. Just Stella Yeager. No, Mrs. Webb Yeager.
That's my gal.
But, we sure do have a king.
A king?
Come and meet His Royal Highness. But wake him at your peril. He's got a right royal temper.
Hey, you mean that baby there? That two-bit? You trying to tell me...
That's him. That's your son.
Well, I'll be hog-tied.
You already are, darling, for life.
But when...
I knew soon after you left.
And all this time... What's his name?
What else should it be but Webb? Yes, Baldy, what is it?
Sorry to interrupt, ma'am. Tom's got them beads. Webb Yeager.
Hiya, Baldy.
Webb Yeager. Well, I'll be hog-tied.
That makes
the
three of
us.
The world of O.Henry was a fascinating forum in which the poor and the wealthy, the sad and the gay rubbed shoulders in the most diverting fashion. Each had a story to tell. This was one of them, brought to you in the O.Henry Playhouse. This was an Artransa production, dramatized by Kay Keavney and produced by Jim Bradley.